Not many airlines do it quite like Emirates, so I wanted to sit down today and explore their incredible fleet. While currently very simple, there's much to unpack about their past and also future. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, it would mean a lot as I push for 40,000 to help grow the channel. So let's begin examining the incredible fleet of the Dubai-based airline. Emirates debuted in the 1980s. They're now one of the most critical carriers globally, but aren't the oldest. Well, they're getting on definitely, that's for sure, but I'm probably not the only one that feels like time is flying, and it's hard to handle to a certain extent how long particular decades ago actually were. Either way, when the airline debuted, it utilised a host of aircraft. Notably, these included your 727-200s, 737-300s, and even the A300. Compared to the number of aircraft that operates now, these aircraft types operated had minimal units. This would be in line though with understanding that this was during the airline's early stages of operation, and unlike some carriers we've seen nowadays that expand rapidly at launch, Emirates' first substantial aircraft type came later down the line, with the A310-300, where they flew 10 units. This operated between 1987 and 2007, so for all of you that love well-rounded numbers, well, it was operational for 20 years in total. However, a common theme continued even after the A310, with aircraft types such as the A300-600, 777-200, and 777-200ER, with no real substantial commitments made to these planes and just a few units actually operational. Away from the A310, its only other current historic aircraft type flown with, say, a high volume of units was the A330-200, with the last unit being retired in 2016. They flew for 17 years with a maximum of 29 jets, and this was only to be followed by the 777-300, which is actually one of the most recent fleet retirements, as Emirates said goodbye to the last unit in 2019, just before the pandemic. Notable mentions for the lovers of quad-engine planes see A340s flying with the -300 and -500 in the Emirates colours between the early 2000s and the mid-2010s. Airline Sim is a must for all aviation enthusiasts. It's a game that promises so much but also delivers it. Released in 2012, the simulator allows you to manage your network and airline with individual scheduling, pricing, and more customization. You can even choose your own aircraft, organize when you want to send them in for maintenance, and deploy them on crucial routes across your network. You can form interline agreements, lease aircraft out, analyze passenger demand before starting a route, cooperate with airports, understand capacity, and so much more. It's essentially everything I talk about in these videos all piled into a game that is accessible to anyone. It is truly a paradise for those wanting to take their interests further and be the next Emirates or British Airways. The simulator runs in real time, so 7 hours of the game is 7 hours in real life. With 4,000 destinations and 300 aircraft types, the game can be played in a handful of languages. Be sure to check out Airline Sim at the link in the pinned comment or the description and help support this fantastic business and their goals. However, it would be commitments for precisely 2 aircraft series that would really help propel the Dubai-based carrier into stardom and help grow also its incredible hub of Dubai, not only as a critical transit location, but if we're just looking at Dubai generally, it's become also a fantastic place for tourism too. All aided thanks to Emirates' vast connections globally and its fleet that makes all of this possible. In the early 2000s, a handful of decades after they did start operations, the airline announced a sizable aircraft deal at the Paris Air Show. This included at the time their first commitment for what would be the A380 and the essential future acquisition deal for the 777-300ER. 2005 would bring another commitment to the 777, with 42 firm orders being announced. Additional A380 deals would continue throughout the decades, however that's enough for their order history, as it's something I want to explore in another video, as there's some hidden gems that were ordered but never became operational. So what about their current fleet? Well, it's pretty enormous, but lucky for all of us, it's not all that complex, which means if you're new to the industry in comparison to, say, an airline such as Delta, it'll be pretty easy to not only understand, but probably memorize the EK fleet. Emirates currently has 243 in-service aircraft. Its most significant in-service fleet type is the 777-300ER, where 123 units remain in active operations. And interestingly, not a single unit for this variant is in storage, indicating a very solid recovery for flying following the restrictions felt from the pandemic on this variant. The 777-300ER's average an age of around 10.3 years, with the oldest being 17.5. So the series is getting on, in some regard for the operator, but certainly isn't all that old. It's worth noting that the airline undoubtedly does like keeping its fleet young. No passenger aircraft is over the 17-year mark, and even then, that is still pushing it for EK. Youthful and streamlined is how they roll for flying. The only other 777 variant flying for passenger purposes is the 9 active 777-200LR aircraft. When taking a look at the average age of these units, well, it's around the 15.2 year mark. So, with the youngest being at 14.4 years, these are certainly getting on in terms of age, at least for Emirates' operations. Next on the list is the Airbus A380. How could I forget it? The world's largest passenger plane, and they are, of course, the largest operator of the type. What many believe Emirates to be is the lifeblood of the program, even to this day, and have largely kept it alive. 97 total units remain in service, however 24 are in storage. Notably, a significant portion of the A380 units that actually remain in storage are the oldest units. However, the average age of the A380 is just 8.4 years, which is very good, but notably being kept down because of the select jets that they've decided to keep parked up, bringing down that overall average age. Emirates does plan on removing the A380s towards the end of the 2030s, so the likelihood that they'll be the final operator of the A380 series is, you'd like to think, pretty high. This still, though, keeps in line with ensuring that their fleet stays young. By the 2030s, the next generation of aircraft will arrive, and this includes A350s, 787s, and 777Xs. What this also means for future flying is that the operations at Emirates, while definitely, yes, getting even more efficient, won't be consolidated into just 2 aircraft series. Emirates has 50 firm A350-900s on order, alongside 30 of the 787-9s and 115 of the 777-9s. These will really be the backbone of their future fleet, and while the airline certainly makes claims that it wants an aircraft like the A380neo, time will only tell how they'll be able to perfectly replace their A380. That's going to be, in the current climate of the industry, simply impossible. There are, though, reports that Emirates will look to place a sizable deal with either Airbus or Boeing for more twin-engined wide-body aircraft, these reports emerging in recent months. And really, it doesn't come as a shock. Don't think for a second that the numbers related to future aircraft orders are solidified and won't change. Fully expect Emirates to grow in the coming decades as they look to acquire more of these wide bodies and potentially expand on existing series that they already have commitments for. As I'll explore in an upcoming video taking a look at the Emirates order history, and as briefly touched on more towards the beginning of this video, Emirates are very much known in their history to place an initial commitment and then go back for seconds, and sometimes even thirds, before they eventually round off the operations with the plane. Let me know your thoughts on the Emirates fleet. Now, whether it's a past aircraft, a currently flying, or a future one, what is your favourite aircraft or favourite aircraft to fly in EK colours? You can let me know down below in the comments. Thanks a lot for your support here on GlobeTrotting. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Take care and be safe, and I'll see you next time right here for more analysis on our industry.
And we'll fly.